Hello everyone, Team Deception09 here with a quick deck profile for you guys. I know it's been a while since I've done a video, so I figured I would do one for you guys today. I finally kind of came up with something that I really like, something that I think can do well, something that I have faith that can actually do something next format, or at least be, something interesting for the next format. But yeah. Um, this is something I kind of came up with while, sorry, I kind of had to readjust my headset. If you heard shaking, of course. If you didn't, then never mind. But, yeah, this is a deck that I kind of came up with because, much like the deck that I did on No Limit, there was like one or two cards that really made me want to just build a deck that involved using them. And, I've been thinking of doing like TG stun, stuff like that. And, there's a lot of similar cards to this deck compared to that one. Some things are kind of obviously different, things like that. And I kind of just pieced together, I just thought of plays that I could do with certain cards, and this is what I eventually arrived at. So I'm just going to go over the deck, and then we'll explain some of the plays the deck can do, some of the things, like my opinions on the actual card choices that I've made, things like that. And I'll try to do this as fast as possible. So that way it's not 20 minutes long. So starting off with the monsters, we have one Beast King Barbaros, one Blaster Dragon Ruler of Infernos, two Green Baboon Defender of the Forest, three Hazy Flame Cerberus, two Flame Veil Fire Dog, three Flame Tiger, and three Fencing Fire Ferret. I kind of love how they misspelled the actual image to Ferret. I kind of demand you change that picture to the Pokemon Ferret if you're going to keep it like that. Just saying. Continuing on, we have spells, 3 Onslaught of the Fire Kings, 1 Dark Hole, 2 Pot of Duality, 3 Mystical Space Typhoon, 1 Book of Moon, 2 Forbidden Lance, and 2 Circle of the Fire Kings. Traps, we have 2 Horn of the Phantom Beast, 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, 2 Super Rush Recklessly, 2 Mirror Force, 1 Torrential Tribute, 1 Compulsory Evacuation Device, 2 Skill Drains, and 1 Solemn Warning. The extra deck's kind of tricky. I kind of want, there's a few things that I can actually see being changed up here, and the extra deck's also kind of post, what's it called, Legacy of the Valiant, because there's a couple cards in here from that set. But anyway, continuing on. Extra deck, we have 1 Dracosac, 1 Big Eye, 1 Constellar Ptolemy M7, 1 Photon Strike Bouncer, 1 number 85 Crazy Box, 1 Gem Knight Pearl, 1 number 39, I almost got a 93, Utopia, 1 number 50 Black Ship of Corn, 1 number 101 SH Arc Knight, card from Legacy of the Valiant. If you don't know what it does, it requires 2 level 4 monsters. You can detach 2 materials from it. The target face-up attack position special summon monster your opponent controls. Attach it to this card as a material. You can only use that effect once per turn, and if this card on the field will be destroyed, you can detach a material from it instead. So it's kind of like a 2100 attack Mace Stroke. 1 Diamond Direwolf, 1 Evil Swarm Knight, Belzebuth, I guess I'm not sure if that's the actual English name. I think it's Evil Swarm Excite Knight in English. If you don't know what this does, I'll read this off as well. 2 level 4 monsters during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase. If your opponent's cards in the hand and on the field outnumber yours, you can detach a material from this card, destroy all other cards in the field, and if you activate this effect, your opponent takes no damage for the rest of the turn. So, and it's the same stats as Evil Swarm, or not Evil Swarm, Steel Swarm Roach. So, 1 Mace Stroke, 1 Daigusto Emerald for late game stuff, 1 Gaga Cowboy, and 1 number 30 Acid Golem. So that's the build. So let's kind of just go over a few things here. I'm only playing 1 Barbaros, and the reason for this is because we're playing 2 of this guy. This guy is extremely old. A lot of people don't really like playing it because, okay, a lot of people have this mindset that it misses timing all the time. That's not entirely true, and this deck actually kind of takes advantage of the fact that it doesn't miss timing in the certain ways that this deck can be played. So I mean, there's that. Blaster, the majority of this deck is actually fire, so I mean, it's a level 7 that it's a 2000 beat stick that I can summon. Skill Drain, it keeps it on the field if I want to, and I can use it to blow up cards for free, so it's kind of good. And I mean, I'm sure that everyone knows what Flame Tiger does, so I mean, I don't know if I really have to explain that, but I mean, I could just card this for Blaster, and then during my draw phase, if I happen to need a monster, I can just summon it back from the graveyard. So I mean, there's that. Hazy Flame Cerberus, this is kind of a similar thing to Photon Saber Tiger, but the differences here is it's a fire, and it has 1000 attack whenever it's normal summoned without tributes, so it kind of, I can't remember. I think that Saber Tiger goes to 1200, which gives it a little more attack, but because I need fire monsters, Cerberus is, you know, just as good. On top of that, it can also be searched out by Flame Belt Fire Dog, so I can get a free 2000 beat stick for my deck if Fire Dog destroys something in battle. Flame Tiger, it's mainly just here to be a Fire Dog target as well as a Fire Beast that I can bring out off of Onslaught. There's also a few other plays that you can make with it, and we'll get to that whenever we get into the spells and traps. Fire Ferret is one of the dumbest cards in this deck. I swear it is. It allows you to do so many retarded plays. I've done a few times, like I think this exact build built in real life. Like I think I'm looking through it literally as I'm talking right now, and I believe that it's exactly the same. It's pretty stupid. Some of the things you can do with the spells and traps just make this card completely unfair in my opinion. On top of that, it is a 1700 beat stick, and it's also a beast, so if it's destroyed, then you can drop Baboon. So I mean, it's pretty good. On top of that, when it's destroyed itself, like whenever something destroys it, then you can destroy one of your opponent's face-up monsters and inflict 500 damage to them. Really good card. It's basically your Snowman Eater. Onslaught of the Fire Kings, again, this should be kind of self-explanatory. I mean, a good chunk of this deck is Beast and Fire, because I mean, you got Beast, Fire, Beast, Fire, Beast, Fire, Beast, Fire. The cool part is pretty much anything that you bring out can replace itself, or it allows you to promote like an Exceed play, or come back from the graveyard, or you know, things like that. Like if you bring this out, it'll die, and then you can search out another one from your deck. Bringing this out, you would probably only do that for an Exceed play. This brings itself back from the graveyard during the draw phase, again, if you decide you don't want to draw. And this allows you to blow up something during the end phase, so it kind of takes something down with it, which is really good. On top of that, it gives you a free monster if you happen to have nothing. And the funny part is if you bring out any of the beasts, if it dies, you can drop Baboon from your graveyard or your hand. So, I mean, that's a free 2600 beat stick for no reason. The next spell I kind of want to cover here is Forbidden Lance. I'm not entirely sure on this. I kind of want to play Chalice, just because like I can Chalice this and make it, you know, 2,400 until the end of the turn. I can use it on Barbaros to make it 3,000. I can use it on this or this to make them 23 or not 23, 22 or 2,100. And same goes for this, even though I really wouldn't want to do that because then I would lose its effect. But I mean, if I really needed to. So yeah, like I'm not entirely sure on lances. I might side in the chalices, and I'm not entirely sure what I would side out for them. Maybe these, but I'm not entirely sure. Same goes for duality. I might side them out for the chalices as well, but I'm not entirely sure. And before I kind of get any further into this, I don't have like an ideal side deck for this. The extra deck already was kind of difficult to come up with because like not many Exceeds actually play well with Skill Drain, or at least not that I've seen. And trying to find decent ones that could play with it was a little it was kind of a pain in the ass, at least to me it was. Also, I was kind of tired when I was making this, so I might have missed a few things. I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, if you have suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. The next thing I want to cover is this. This is one of those cards that a lot of people will think will make Baboon miss its timing. No, it does not. Circle of the Fire Kings has a... Okay, let me read out the effect for you for anyone who doesn't have it on hand and can't actually see it on the screen and is too lazy to Google it. Target one fire monster you control and one fire monster in your graveyard. Destroy that monster that you control, and if you do, special summon that monster from your graveyard. The reason why this does not make Baboon miss timing is the part of the text that says, and if you do, special summon. So if you destroy the monster, then the special summon of the other monster happens at the same time, because that's what that "and if you do" kind of means. So if you were to, I don't know, destroy this or this, you can get not only their effects, but you can also drop Baboon. So it's kind of good, because like the way it would work is you would bring whatever back, this would try to activate, and then this would try to activate, because I'm assuming that Baboon would be Chainlink 2 or Chainlink 1, one of the two. Doesn't really matter, because it's not going to really miss timing, because it's already attempting to activate. So yeah, it does not make the Baboon miss timing. Kind of feel like I should kind of cover that, because I mean, some people might think that it does miss timing, and I kind of like the, okay, for example, Hazy Flame Cerberus. I asked this on Duelist Grounds a long time ago. Hazy Flame Cerberus has a when you can effect, and I asked if it would miss timing through Circle of the Fire Kings, and Duelist Grounds had promptly told me that no, it would not miss timing. Baboon is also another when you can effect, so it will not miss timing. Kind of just feel like I need to put that out there because some people might think that it does, and it does not. The next interesting card that I really wanted to cover, and this card is so fucking hilarious, is Super Rush Recklessly. Originally, I was going to do Dimensional Prisons, but I realized some of the really stupid plays that this card actually has in this deck, namely with only like 2 monsters, 3 if you want to count something that can provide itself for free, and if you happen to have a Baboon on the field and 1 in the graveyard, that also works as well. Like if you have a Baboon in your graveyard and 1 on the field, you can destroy the 1 on the field, bring the 1 back from the graveyard, and still use this thing's effect, because basically it just says destroy your monster and return the opponent's monster to the deck. So it both have, like, because of the way it's worded, it happens all simultaneously, so Baboon will not miss its timing. This was a ruling that everyone had to kind of cover the second that I think D-Rev came out, because I think that's what this actually came in. So yeah, destroying Fire Ferret is hilarious. You get 2 of their monsters off the field for 1 card. Well, 2 cards, I guess, if you count destroying the Ferret. But I mean, still. And on top of that, if you have Baboon in hand or engrave, you can drop it. So I mean, it's kind of a really hilarious thing. Getting a free search while getting rid of 1 of their monsters off their field is also pretty nice as well. In my opinion, it kind of acts like a compulsory if you play it right. But again, like, it's kind of in the testing phase, and Deep Prison might actually prove to be better. But I like to play interesting cards from time to time, so I put in the Super Rush Recklessly. I don't think there's anything else in the main deck that I really need to explain, so there's a few things that I kind of want to cover in the extra. Namely, starting off with these, Baboon is a level 7, so if you can happen to get like Blaster and Baboon set up, you can technically make them, and I kind of put them in here just as an in case, because I've actually, like, whenever I was like pile shuffling and, you know, just testing the deck out, going, okay, all day I can do whatever the fuck I want. Like, I actually had an opportunity where I had Blaster and I had a Baboon already on the field. I could have made Draco Sack or Big Eye or whatever. I understand that, like, with Skill Drain already active, it doesn't really do much. I think that the Draco Sack still does something, yeah, because, like, you contribute it off to destroy something if you want to, because it resolves off field. But, you know, that's basically that. These I put in here because there were times when I would play Onslaught, bring 1 out, and I already had 1 in my hand, so I could make a rank 6 play, and I just didn't have the rank 6s in there originally, so I had to make room for them. And originally I had things like Utopia Ray, Papal Operative, you know, like cards that, like, again, I had a hard time coming up with ideas for the extra deck for this deck, because again, like, Skill Drain kind of like hurts and, you know, pushes down like really decent cards, and I kind of didn't want to, you know, have too many of something that might get hurt, and then I just have useless Exceeds or whatever, other than having them as beat sticks. So, and the reason why I'm using Bouncer instead of Force Focus or Focus Force or whatever the hell it's called, Bouncer sacrifices the 100 attack for the ability to basically act as another skill drain if they get rid of it. So I mean, if they get rid of my skill drain, I can make it and then go, okay, I can negate 2 effects at least. So kind of a good thing. Next up is Crazy Box. I don't know if I would actually play the viruses in the extra, or in the side deck, but it's still kind of hilarious with Skill Drain. It can start to attack as a 3k beat stick, and you can use its effects before you even negate it or whatever, which is kind of hilarious. And if I actually do decide to play Chalices, then you can just negate the effect and, you know, do whatever. So yeah, and I think the last 2 cards, there's 2 cards left that I need to explain. This is another one, and the reason why there's a reason why I want to play this, and the reason for that is because I want to be able to put back my Cerberuses, so that way I can keep searching them. That way I can bring this back from my, like, out of my deck with Onslaught, Fire Dog, and targets for it back into the deck, so that way I can use Fire Dog's effect, things like that. I understand that, like, with Skill Drain, obviously you wouldn't be able to do it if it's already active, but I mean, like, late game, if Skill Drain's off the field, it might prove to be very useful. In testing, it actually netted me a free compulsory, which actually helped me win a game, so it was actually really good to have. And the last card that I feel like I need to explain is the Acid Golem. There are 2 reasons why I'm playing it. One, it's very similar to Crazy Box. You can just go, okay, I can attack with a 3k beat stick all day. And the other reason why I'm playing it is because I know that, like, because Evil Swarms are still going to be very popular, people might still actually be playing Xyz Encore, and they might side it in if they, if they think that any of my extra deck cards are going to be threatening. So, I mean, like, that's a thing. so I mean, like, I kind of wanted to have it just in case. And Zen mains probably wasn't one of the best ideas to use because, again, skill drain. I might still try to find room for it. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah. So I don't know about you guys. I really like the idea of playing Baboon again. The plays that you can do with this deck are really hilarious, and it's been playing kind of nice for me lately. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of the deck in the comment section below. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you decide to play it, let me know how it plays for you. If you decide to change it up to make it better or whatever, or to add your own spin on it, feel free to share your ideas, because again, I'd like to see how Baboon plays with a deck like this, because Baboon was really cool back when it was playable, and it'd be kind of nice to see it be somewhat playable again. So yeah, I don't really know if there's anything else I need to say, except for maybe, you know, the fact that I haven't been doing very many videos, so I feel like I should probably say this now. To everyone, I wish you all the best of holidays. I know that, you know, Christmas is literally a few days away, and then there's the fact that, you know, New Year's is literally like the week later. So I mean, I don't know what I'm going to be doing for videos, if any, so I kind of want to say this now. For those of you who are of legal age, feel free to get plastered off your ass. And for those of you who are not, enjoy all the toys or whatever that you're going to be getting. Hopefully you get plenty of Yu-Gi-Oh stuff and all that other happy crap, I suppose. So yeah, until next time, this is Team 709 signing out.